On February 15th, 2025, a Florida officer arrived at a woman's workplace to arrest her for grand theft. The charge stems from up to 18 documented incidents of retail theft at Target, totaling nearly $3,000. Not a misdemeanor, not a gray area. Under Florida Statute, Section 812.014, anything above $750 is grand theft, a third-degree felony. That threshold matters because it dictates how the arrest must be handled. No shortcuts. No notice to appear.
Howdy, how you doing today?
Good, how are you guys?
Good, good.
Here.
Yeah, she is upstairs.
Is she by herself?
She's not. Okay. She's with someone right now? Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you guys here for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you said somebody, but who?
I'm going to go somewhere a little private.
We can just go in this hallway?
Sure.
Okay. Sorry, this all open everywhere, so. And our AC's broken, so we're going to think. It's going to be hot in here, too.
That's fine. I'm trying to spare whatever here. So,
okay.
You're being placed under arrest.
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my goodness.
For grand theft from Target. So there's 10 to 18 different times that you have gone to Target and paid for items and then did not pay for items. And they all have you all on video and photos and all of that. So right now we are here because we have PC for your arrest.
Okay.
So
what do I, like, can you just kind of tell me what to do?
So now,
how we do this?
Yeah, so I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to embarrass you in front of your company, so I'm trying to be nice here about it.
Of course.
But I would have to place you in handcuffs, put you in the back of my car.
To walk out? Can I walk to your car and then you put me in handcuffs?
Yeah, we can do that.
Is that okay?
Just as long as you don't run away or anything like that. I have to say it because we've had runners before.
Oh, I'm sure.
So,
of course, yeah.
You'll go down to the jail, you'll get fingerprinted, booked, all that stuff, and then you can call and get a bond. And then you could be released as early as tonight or tomorrow. You have to see a judge within 24 hours. So that's what I know. Yeah.
So I can't call anybody now. I'm not trying to do anything beyond this. Because my kids.
Yeah. So
I do have kids.
Yeah. I did go to your house.
Okay.
Your
my
son's
homesick with the flu.
It's okay. I did ask. I didn't know if you were home
he's
or not.
older.
Yeah. You're fine.
I was like, I did.
No, he's middle school, right?
Yes.
Okay. He looked middle school. That's why I asked.
Yes,
How old's your youngest?
7, and he's probably just getting to the clubhouse.
Does he walk from the clubhouse to...
Yeah, but like this meeting that I was just in that I got pulled out of, as soon as it was over, I normally go home.
You got anybody else that can go there for at least the evening?
Do you have your husband, boyfriend?
Yeah, I mean, I can call if I'm allowed.
Yeah, you are.
I'm
Yes, we're giving you...
We're giving you the opportunity to call somebody to go to the house for the kids.
Yeah.
Right. So I know he's not home now, but he's like, at work, so I can just let him know. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little different of a situation where other people are looking to call somebody and hurt us. So, so people are like that.
If he doesn't answer, can I call my mom?
Uh-oh.
What was that?
I don't know. Better ask.
Okay, he didn't answer, so...
Call your mom.
Okay. Yeah.
As long as you get hold of somebody that can make everybody aware, make sure the kids are good.
Right.
We don't want to be calling DCF or anything like that, so... Yeah.
No.
That's why we're asking.
Oh, yeah, I was like, no. We just both work, so...
I understand. As long as they know and,
The only reason why I would call DCF is because no one would be home with them.
like you can't get a hold of anybody to take care of
now.
it.
Yeah, so it's not DCF that you did something wrong to them. It's just you couldn't get a hold of anybody. But make your calls. We're fine.
Hey, I need you to leave work and go home, like right now, because I'm not able to go home. Yeah, the sheriff's office is here, and they're arresting me. Okay. I mean, I just need you to go home.
And you'll be able to call them when you get to the jail.
What they said, I can call you again when I get to the jail.
Yeah, they'll allow you
just
calls at the jail.
Can I tell him?
You can tell him anything you want. Yes. Yeah.
They said for theft at Target for self-checkout. So. No, I'm not pranking you.
You want us to go? Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're.
This is Corporal Robert Kirkland, County Sheriff's Office.
It's probably not the norm, so he probably, or he or she.
I've never even.
Right. I just
Okay.
letting you know it's not a joke.
But because they have gone to the house and Gabe was there, so I told them like Scarlett and Jameson are probably getting home from school right now, so they don't call DCF because the kids are home alone, not because we did anything wrong. Okay. He said he'll leave now and go
Okay.
home.
That's fine.
Do
Yeah,
you have anything here that you need to take out?
like a purse.
Just like my card. Should I leave them?
I would leave him.
I also know what
So
the right
I would
thing
have to
to
go
do
up
is.
with you, and I
I
would
don't-
try and just not.
No, I can leave my car here like overnight or till later
As long as you're
today.
fine with
or-
that.
As long as you're fine with
Yeah,
that.
I mean, this is
Okay.
pretty secure.
I just have to get a picture of you real quick. All right, so 1, 2, 3. I know, kind of odd. But yeah, leave your stuff here. So
Like
that
my
way,
phone and stuff.
your
I
phone
leave
can
it
go with
here.
you.
I can.
You're good. Yeah, it'll go with you, so that way you can get phone numbers out and you can call who you need to when you get to the jail. So everything you have right now should be fine. You don't have a purse or
And
a
I go to
wallet.
jail like that.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you're good. So,
Like in these clothes.
yeah, and then you get different clothes.
Okay, ready?
Go ahead. Obviously, my car is right there, and doing it as discretional as possible.
Maybe we can go on the far side. Just, I know all my coworkers are there.
Yeah.
The only way you can get in more trouble now is if you took off running. So I don't think you're going to do that. So
I would not. I wouldn't do that. So how long does somebody have to stay?
well, you can bond out as soon as the booking's done. You can, which will just take a few hours once they get you booked and all the paperwork's done. It usually takes a few hours.
Okay.
So as long as you have the funds to bond, you can bond out this
You
this
people
afternoon.
can go home the same day?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could,
You don't have any priors, right?
no.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
So
when you make
Like I could go like to work tomorrow, or people don't do
you
things
should
like
be
that.
able to,
Okay.
as long as
Again,
you.
I don't.
You have to have the money to be able to bond.
Right, and then people can like kind of live in
You can
normal
do
until thing. Okay,
Yeah, you can do all normal things. It's just right now is
this is the moment.
this is the moment where we unfortunately
And
go
then
in
through
and
this moment
you've
we
been
can-
really cooperative. I'm not gonna handcuff you in the back. I'll handcuff you in the front. It's policy. I have to handcuff you. So
Whatever. I don't want to.
yeah. So you sit down. I'll handcuff you in the front, and then I'll take you to jail.
The Fourth Amendment prohibits unreasonable seizures, but it does not prohibit arrest without a warrant when probable cause exists. In Illinois v. Gates, 1983, the Supreme Court adopted the totality of the circumstances standard for probable cause. Surveillance video across multiple visits, store records, photographic evidence that is not thin probable cause. That is a documented case. Florida Statute Section 901.15 authorizes warrantless arrest when an officer has probable cause to believe a felony has been committed. Box checked. One of the most misunderstood questions in arrests: when exactly does Miranda kick in? Miranda versus Arizona, 1966. Requires advisement before custodial interrogation, not at the moment of arrest. This officer did not interrogate. The subject spoke voluntarily. No Miranda violation occurred under the current legal standard. But here is the practical problem. Anything the subject said post-arrest can potentially be used, even without interrogation, if she volunteered it. She disclosed her daily schedule, her children's routine, details about her husband. Defense counsel will want to review every word of this footage. A notice to appear is exactly what it sounds like: a citation requiring the person to appear in court. No physical booking required. Florida law limits that option to misdemeanor-level offenses. Grand theft at $3,000 clears the felony threshold by a wide margin. The officer explained this correctly on camera. Physical booking is not discretionary. Here it is what the statute requires. The officer correctly told the subject being arrested is not being convicted. That distinction is not just reassuring, it is constitutionally grounded. The 14th Amendment guarantees due process before any deprivation of liberty. A judge-not, a patrol officer determines guilt. Florida Rules of Criminal Procedure. Rule 3.130 requires a first appearance before a judge within 24 hours of arrest. The officer cited this accurately. At that hearing, the court sets bond conditions based on the nature of the offense, flight risk, and criminal history. The subject has no priors that matters. Self-checkout theft is a growing legal focus. Florida Statute Section 812.015 specifically covers retail theft, including scan avoidance and item manipulation. Courts are not treating this as a technicality. If a customer scans one item and pockets another, that is, theft documented or not, the evidentiary standard remains the same: surveillance footage, transaction records, and receipt data establish the actus reus of the offense. 18 incidents across multiple visits is not an accident. That pattern supports intent-required element for theft under Florida law. Under Graham v. Connor, 1989, use of force is evaluated from the perspective of a reasonable officer on the scene, not in hindsight. The subject was cooperative from the first moment. The officer responded appropriately, verbal commands only. No escalation. No drawn weapons. Handcuffing a cooperative subject in front rather than behind the back is a discretionary judgment call. It is within acceptable practice, and it matters for officer-subject relations. In Atwater v. City of Lago Vista, 2001, the Supreme Court confirmed that a full custodial arrest even for a non-violent offense is constitutional when authorized by statute.
And you literally just get book process, and you're going to give the opportunity to call the bondsman or have your husband or
I
somebody
can call him and
yeah,
he...
yep, and then he can work on that. And then
How do you know how much it is?
it'll populate in mine, but they should tell you.
Oh, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, how do you know what
Yeah.
that is?
All right, go ahead. No weapons on you.
No, about this is like public record, right?
Unfortunately, it is public record, but someone really has to know what they're looking for.
What do you mean by that?
Like, they would have to know to, like, go to the Collier County website.
But that like Collier County like mugshot page.
So the problem...
Oh, I was trying to pull that way. That's what I'm getting.
The problem is that... You're okay. The problem is with that is that I can't give you an NTA, a notice to appear, because it's above a misdemeanor amount. So...
Isn't it a felony?
Yeah. That's the problem, that I can't just take you with a notice to appear for you just to see the judge. So it would be like an arrest without arresting you and taking you to the jail. So the reason why it's different is because of the level that it's at. So, or I would be...
What is the level that it's at?
I'd have to look at the amount, but I know it's grand theft.
What is that? Like, what are the thresholds?
It's it's above $750.
$750?
Yeah.
Is grand theft?
Yeah. Sounds like a low amount for a big thing, I know.
I wonder if I'm going to get fired.
If someone looks it up, I don't know your policy.
Like if it's a felony, like
So
I'm
you're
a felon?
No.
Okay,
You're
I'm sorry, I just don't know.
You're just getting arrested. That's it. You're not you're not convicted. You are not... The judge has not say you are guilty of everything that you did. You just... What we have is probable cause with evidence that you committed the crimes. But it is the judge that is the one that signs off on whether or not you are guilty of a felony, or do they take your clean history and do they break it down? Do they give you diversion? Do they give you a slap on the wrist this time? Like, what is it that they do in order to make this not be a felony on your record? So, the process is now...
So this will be like public tonight?
You getting arrested is public tonight. But
and it'll say
grand theft. But it will not show that you are a convicted felon. It will not show anywhere about felon or felonies with the state or with the judge that you are a convicted felon. So if they did a background check, they wouldn't... nothing would come up as a conviction. Yeah, correct. So let me get you on going.
The arresting officer receives a grade of A-. Probable cause was solid. The arrest procedure was legally sound. The officer explained the process accurately at every step. Bond, first appearance, conviction, distinction, NTA ineligibility. The de-escalation here was not performative. Private setting, empathetic tone, space for phone calls, child welfare coordination, This officer chose dignity without sacrificing lawfulness. One deduction, no Miranda advisement, was captured on camera. While not legally required absent interrogation, best practice is to advise early. The subject then spoke at length. The officer also suggested the public arrest record is hard to find. That is not accurate. Third-party mugshot sites pull these records automatically within hours of booking. The subject receives a grade of B+. She cooperated fully, did not resist, did not lie, did not flee. Under Florida Statute Section 951.01, resisting arrest carries its own criminal charges, avoided that entirely. The score drops for one clear reason: she did not invoke her Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. And she volunteered substantial personal information to a law enforcement officer who had just placed her under arrest. None of it was a confession, but in any subsequent proceeding, prosecutors can use voluntary statements made post-arrest. She should have said nothing beyond what was necessary. A first-time offender facing third-degree felony grand theft in Florida has real options: pre-trial diversion, adjudication withheld, probation without incarceration, and restitution agreements are all available under Florida's First Offender Framework if counsel moves early. Adjudication withheld means no formal conviction on the record, even if the defendant pleads or is found guilty. That distinction affects employment background checks going forward. The officer was right that a clean record helps. But that is for a judge to weigh, not something the officer can promise. Manage expectations accordingly. 3 things worth remembering from this footage. First, the felony threshold for theft in Florida is $750. That number is lower than most people assume. Second, self-checkout is not anonymous. Stores aggregate transaction data across visits, cross-reference surveillance, and build documented cases before contacting police. Third, when you are placed under arrest, you have the right to remain silent. Use it. Cooperation with the physical process is smart. Talking is not. Let us know in the comments if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to cover. Thank you for watching. And check out our second channel, Bodycam Case Analysis second channel, for more police interaction and courtroom content.